Hello, hello, my Facebook friends. Let's see. I want to join in. This is a special with a good friend here.
Hello.
Hey, Wakesha. Yay! Hey,
Hello, how are you? We did it.
yes, yes, we are on the move here. I need to share this one more time, and I have tagged you in this live, so you
Okay,
can
great.
also share it.
Yes, I'm going to do that right now.
Okay. I'm going to share this as well on Facebook from YouTube. So let me do that too. Okay, let me know when you're up, and it's going to be just a few more minutes for me.
Okay, I'm working on it right now.
Okay. Very, very exciting for my homeschool families who are connected with me on my Facebook page. This is going to be for a treat for you, and those who are public schooling here in South Carolina, this is going to be a treat. This is very, very much a new venture for both myself. I don't know if Wakesha have done this before, but hey, we're going to see how this go, and we're going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen.
Yes, that's right. I'm about to post this right now.
Okay, got my link. There's the link. Let me go put this over here. Right there. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, some more should be joining us in just a little bit, but we're going to go. We'll keep it.
And so is yours set as being public?
It
Is
should be
it,
what.
it, yeah, it's not letting me share it right now. It's saying because of the
Okay.
privacy
Really?
setting
Okay.
on,
All right. I
and it
will
might
go in
just
and
be
out.
on my end.
Okay, let me check it in just a sec.
Okay.
All righty. I think we got that going. Okay, let me see what else we can do here. All right, so still saying the same thing for you?
I'm going to try it again right now. It's saying I
Okay.
can't. The privacy setting on post means that you can't share it on my page. And it just might
Okay.
be something for me. So I might share it later then.
Okay. All
Um,
right. I'm gonna check it real
because
quick
yeah.
and just make sure. I think it is my privacy. Hold on. We're
Okay.
gonna do yes. Okay. So I just made it public. So let's see what you can do now. Maybe refresh and see what you got.
Yes, I'm getting ready to do it right now. Yay, it's working. It was successfully posted. Okay, very
All
good.
right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Well, all my Facebook friends, so exciting to do this. Okay, never did this before, but we are going to, this might be a new trend for me, and we'll just see. I'm excited,
Yes,
excited. All
for
right, let
me
me talk a
too.
little bit. Yeah, for you too?
For
All
me too.
right,
For me too.
yes, all right, here we go. Okay, so welcome everyone. This is Angela Jordan Perry, and I am the owner, director, administrator of United Christian Homeschoolers Unlimited. Now I have a few open spots here. We are live on Facebook. We are live on United Christian Homeschoolers Unlimited Facebook page, and we are live on YouTube, okay? Also, you will find Wakesha, who is our special guest this evening, Wakesha Fogle. You can find her. She shared on Wake Academy and Consulting LLC on her page. Is that what it is, correct? Go to Wake
Yes,
Academy.
that's
All
right.
right. And then you can find us there. So for all of our friends who's joining in, if you can hear us well, please give us thumbs up. Let us know you're connecting with us, and we are going to go. All right. So first of all, let me give you a short intro to Wakesha. Wakesha, are you ready to make this happen?
I am ready to make this happen. I'm so excited. Ever since we first started talking, this is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a blessing to so many families. Very informative and a breath of fresh air. So it is a pleasure to partner with you as we move forward.
Yes, sounds good. Likewise, very good. Thank you, Wakesha, for being here. So Wakesha Fogle is a devoted educator of almost 2 decades and
Angela, are you
co-founder.
reading that whole thing out? You're reading the whole
No,
bio? Oh,
I
okay,
am not
good.
going to
You
read all.
scared
No,
me.
no, no, no,
Okay,
no, no,
okay,
not at all.
okay, okay.
No. So Wakesha Fogle is a devoted educator of almost 2 decades and co-founder, alongside her husband Emanuel, of Wake Academy Consulting LLC of Greenville. She's right out of South Carolina. Wake Academy and Consulting mission is to bridge instructional gaps and circumvent educational pitfalls that students experience. So I have met Wakesha just briefly. We crossed paths. I know it was divine, and I'm just excited to see how our path would go forth, as I very much am in the homeschooling sphere. Wakesha has been very much a part of the public school, but has also helped a lot students in the homeschool sphere. So we're going to see how this public school, homeschool, her giftings, my giftings merge together and bring life to what we have birthed in our hearts. So Wakesha, I have just given a small intro about you. So please, please tell our viewers just a little bit more about you, and then we're going to go from there.
Okay, well, this is my 18th year in education since graduating and working. I've been a math teacher for many of those years, especially particularly at the middle school level. But I have worked at an elementary, middle, and high school setting. I've served as an instructional coach, which is a person that goes in and provides support to the teachers in a school to ensure that maximize academic achievement is taking place. And then I've been on a district level supporting teachers in schools. And now with my company, I'm doing a little bit of everything. I'm supporting schools, I'm supporting families, I'm working as a liaison and advocate for families that are trying to, like you mentioned, circumvent some of the pitfalls that are there, close the gap that exists between the home and school. But also for families that are homeschooling, because that is the best option for them. Now they're out here and they're trying to figure it all out. And so however I can use my expertise, I'm there for them. So there's no one size fits all. There's no specific manuscript for what I do. It's just whatever support families need. That's what I'm there to provide.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So one of the things I am always looking to do, because as an Option 3 director here in the state of South Carolina, so for those of you who don't know, for homeschoolers to homeschool in this state, under Option 3, they have to join what it's called an Option 3 Accountability Association. And I work with families and trying to help them to, if they're new to homeschooling, to smoothly, walk through that journey as things pop up, to inform them, equip them, empower them. Okay, I'm sorry about that. One of the many things that I always have conversation with families about is just how once their children get into that middle school year and their high school years, how to successfully do that. One, maybe the parent doesn't feel comfortable themselves teaching those subjects. They feel at a loss. Maybe they have a lot of children that they're homeschooling at once, and how to get all that done. So one of the things that you and I have talked about and collaborated about, and I want to find out from you, with your heart to help families, avoid pitfalls of education. What have you been doing specifically with homeschoolers, specifically with homeschoolers, and then as they look into the future, look into college, what can you say that your helping hands have provided for them thus far in your journey?
Well, I'll say that specific to mathematics, many of the parents that are homeschooling and they encounter middle school, that's when the math gets a little fuzzy for them because a lot of the approaches that we're taking in 2018 now is much different than how it was for us and how we approached it and how we learned. And so oftentimes is deconstructing those standards for them because even though they're using curriculum that is giving them guidance, but sometimes they need a little bit more unpacking of that for them to understand, just like teachers would need it. So it's really
Yeah.
like the same support I'm providing the teachers, I'm supporting that to the teachers that are in the home, which are the parents that are homeschooling their babies. And also giving them some guidance as to when they're in experiencing that their child might not be uh, having the greatest level of success with a certain skill, I can use my expertise to go back in and assess them and really find out where the issues and where the problems might lie from instructional gaps from previous years and go in and give them a roadmap for how they might be able to work through that. So that's how I've partnered with families instructionally to support them.
Okay. Okay. So when you come in and you give help, are you coming in and actually doing all of the instruction and teaching for that subject, say
No.
it's math, or what does that look like as you step into that arena?
Yeah. I like to think it as is that I'm working as above and beyond what the parents are able to provide or the family's able to provide. I have a situation where the parent is doing a phenomenal job, but now I'm providing a means of with my small group instruction that I have weekly, allowing that child to come into that environment to collaborate with other students and deepen their understanding, develop more intra and interpersonal skills just as they're managing learning in an environment where it's a small setting. But and being able to, kind of feed off of each other and deepen their understanding again. So that's one thing that's happening. But no, I'm not teaching everything. If the parents experience like there's this one skill like they just don't feel comfortable with, or if they're using a computer-based program that's doing instruction that their child didn't get it, then that's where I'll go in and provide a deeper level of instruction for them in that
Okay.
area. So it just depends on what the parents need. Their needs are so different, but I'm there, to kind of be their support. Well, not kind of, but to be their support system and say, okay,
Right.
what did you experience this week? What went well? What did not go well? And let's see how I could be of assistance to increase their level of proficiency with any particular skill they're working on.
Okay, okay, all right, good, very good. Let me ask you this. Let's back up just a moment. Now, since you're in the public sphere, thank you for those thumbs up. If you're following us and this is good and this is giving you some value, please get thumbs up. We have Wakesha Fogle with us this evening, and
Yay!
yay! So, but let me see. So, since you have been pretty closely in working with the public school, as you mentioned, you're contracted to work with them and provide support to the teachers. Are you finding more public school families starting to homeschool, step into that area where then it's making it easier for you who have once been connected with these families to transition and to still continue to support the now them as a home educator? Are you finding that be the case, or what do you see that
Well,
looks like?
that's a great question. And I'll say I was quite naive when I was working, in a traditional school setting. I was not aware as to how many students were being homeschooled, except for on a day off and I'm out and about and I'm seeing, or I'm like home a sick day for kids and I'm seeing children out and about like, why are they not at school? I'm like, duh, they're probably homeschooled. And certainly many
Right,
of them are that I'm
right.
seeing during the day, unlike my child that might be sick and I'm running to the grocery store or something like that. But now that I'm outside of a traditional school day and having parents reach out to me that need support and they're saying, I'm homeschooling, my awareness is just like, my flags are up now that I'm seeing. I'm also seeing that there are reasons in the middle school where there's some students that, because of disciplinary issues, their parents are pulling them out,
Okay.
or they're having some special academic needs that unfortunately might not be met where they're attending school. And so some of
Mhm.
them are frustrated and they're using this as another option for them. Um, and so there are a lot of social, emotional, and academic reasons that I'm finding that parents are taking and going this route. And it has been quite an eye-opening experience for me and having dialogue with them as to the reasons why, but then looking at how we can best match instructional programming for them so that they can excel at higher levels than they had been previously. I think it just depends on the situation. I think some families have been completely happy with what, education their child has been receiving. And then they hit a point for some that I've worked with that for one reason or another, this was the best choice for them to homeschool. And I'm
Okay.
glad that I could be there to service and support them,
Beautiful.
especially in the beginning stages when there's a lot of ambiguity there.
Right, beautiful, beautiful. So as we're stepping, talking about again, the focus of the homeschool, for those who are just joining us, we have Wakesha Fogle with us out of
Hello.
Greenville, South Carolina. Wakesha has always been connected with, for the most part, the public school sphere. And now she and I are collaborating on how that will look like with her helping hands into the homeschooling sphere. Okay, so let me say, you mentioned about tutoring, helping mostly in math and what have you, Wakesha. Now you can't be everywhere. Now, I
Right.
have, almost, 350 families within my association. And so if all of them are like, yes, I need Waukesha to help me with my
Yeah.
math, what curriculum should I use with my math or how to best have my child learn according to their learning style in math or what have you. I mean, is your plan ultimately to be able to tutor all these families? Are you looking to do something online? How are you looking to most maximize your time, your oneness to
I
help the
know.
community? Yes, yes. So what would that really look like,
I
Waukesha?
I think that it's going to grow organically. I'm going to, as just with anything, since I started my company, not quite a year and a half ago, it's been like as the demand requires, I'm going in and making moves. Um, I will definitely say initially, I would love to be a thought partner with families and helping them to make the best instructional decisions possible. So that might look like doing having a function where we have and partnering with you and you have a meetup with families and I come in as a resident expert in the area of curriculum design or implementation or instructional delivery that is taking place,
Yes,
conceptual underpinnings that might be needed, how to support instructional gaps that might be there. So those are some of the things that I envision initially happening with us. I have a little tribe, not even little, but a nice sized tribe of educators that want to work alongside me. And I have not had anything for them to do yet. And so
right,
this might require that I bring in some phenomenal educators that are currently in the classroom, some are out, and others that are no longer working day to day in it, but they still have a heart, a love, and a phenomenal skill set that needs to
right.
be and should be utilized on a regular basis. And so, I might have to call on my tribe and say, come on, we have to do some things for some families that are in
Yes,
need of what we have to offer. You
yes,
think of if you're a teacher in a classroom, you have a instructional coach. You might have another director of academics. You have all of these people, and then the district level, you might have curriculum people to support you. But now, so
right.
what do our homeschool parents have? And that parallels to that, so if we can figure out how we can provide them with answers to the questions they might have and to take away some of the anxiety and misconceptions that might be out there, then that's what our
Right.
job's going to be. So I don't
Beautiful. That
quite know
sounds good.
exactly what it's going to look like, honey. We just going to figure it out. And,
Okay. Yeah.
our people are going to tell us what they need. And I'm going to be like, all right, let's get in where we fit in and provide
Yes.
them individualized as much as possible support. But I know that there are going to be so many commonalities and the needs, the questions, and the support that they want.
Right. That sounds good. And I'm glad you said that because one thing you find often in the homeschool community and perhaps in the public school too is that there's always this a them and a us. The
Right.
homeschool and the public school, like
And the charter school and the private school. And
right.
yes,
And
certainly.
we're just this division and separation of the and an and an and to all these entities.
Right.
And what I like here, what's happening is that we're showing that we have the same ultimate heart and mind, and
That's
that is
right.
just the education of our children in the best way that it can be done, right?
That's
And so for those of you, I'll bring you up to speed. With Wakesha and myself, what we're looking to do is provide this platform, not just particularly for my association, but for the homeschoolers in the state of South Carolina. Maybe this will be a growing thing, just like you mentioned, where public school educators are saying, hey, we can come in and help home educators, seeing them as the home educator. Maybe they don't have a degree in education like some of the public school educators do, but seeing them as viable home educators in which they can come alongside and support them. Okay,
That's
right? So
right.
as an association director, I do that, but hey, I am one person to hundreds, thousands of homeschoolers in the state. So Wakesha, what we had talked about doing for all of my viewers, you're there, give us thumbs up. Thank you for joining in. Give us thumbs up, give us some hearts if this information is pertinent to you. What we're looking to do is provide a platform where those families who do need that support can go right to Wakesha. I will put her information up. And again, depending on what we're hearing that we need to our viewers, homeschool viewers, what we hear that we need is what we want to provide, whether that is an online sphere, whether it is workshops on how to best practices and whatnot. So we really need to hear from me, particularly from UCHU, from all these homeschoolers that I'm connected to, and those who are looking to homeschool but are afraid because they're like, okay, how can I do this? I don't know.
And that is a great point, Angela, because there are families, and I interact with them, that they would love to do this, but they're totally intimidated. They're totally intimidated. And the reality of it is we have some great schools out there. We have some great teachers, but the reality of it is there are some families that are experiencing the yucky parts of it, when they're a baby, or for other reasons. And I would, love for you to share for my audience, what made you make this decision as to homeschool your 8 children? 8 children. I wanted 6. I'm totally jealous. I wanted 6 and I wanted all boys, but I had 3 girls. I love them to death. So I'm counting on my son-in-laws, my future son-in-laws. I'm counting on them. They'll make the Brady Bunch, the Fogle Bunch, what it's supposed to be. But certainly, there are families out there that are really considering this. But now they're saying, you know what, but I don't know the math. I don't know the social studies. I don't know this. How can I do this? And then when we talk about as being African Americans, and then that's something like an anomaly. You don't really see it. And, but this might be a viable option for so many families. So, somebody might say, oh, so you're kicking public schools to the curb. No, it's saying every family has a specific need.
Absolutely, right.
And so let's be honest about that and say every situation is not working for every family. And whatever we can do to ensure that your scholar, I love to call them babies, are getting the best education possible every year, then you do what you got to do. What about if you have a baby there's a medical situation, there's a family situation, there's you've had to move and you're far out, and the school that you're in is not one that are really meeting your needs, that your child might be accelerated and you want to accelerate them at faster levels than what the school that you're at is able to provide. What about if they have needs that are on the other end of the continuum and you're saying, I think that I can best do this in a smaller setting at home? Well, good for you. Go and do it. But now we want to say that we're here to support you with that. And we don't want to leave you hanging. We don't want you to be left hanging. what WAKE stands for, where all kids excel. It didn't say where all kids excel in the classroom that's at so-and-so school. It's saying all kids
All
excel,
kids.
regardless
Yeah.
as to where your learning is taking place.
Absolutely. Right. Well, just to answer your question, which is that all good information, guys, give her some thumbs up, some hearts, give her some, show
Thank
some
you.
love. You all, what you can
And
do
look,
as
you
well.
see my mug. The touch is to touch lives forever. To teach, excuse me, is to touch lives forever. And that's
Yes.
exactly what we're doing.
That's right.
Exactly what we're
Amen.
doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So for all of our viewers, if you would touch your share button, go ahead and share it, because you never know who of your connections that you have on Facebook that may also may be considering homeschooling or need to know some other resources out here. This is just the beginning, and we're starting this with Wake Academy. I'm sorry, not Wake Academy. It's not a Wake Academy. I'm saying the wrong thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is Wake
Well, yeah,
Academy.
it
Excuse
is
me.
Wake
Yeah.
Academy and Consultant.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
twofold. Wake Academy and Wake Consultant, all in one. Yep.
Yeah. So we're starting this conversation with Wakesha here tonight. So go ahead and hit the share button, please. Right on the bottom, hit share and share it with your friends so they can know. So to answer Wakesha's question really quickly, because it's really not about me, I want to elevate what she is wanting to do in her heart and how we're connecting. But Wakesha, yeah, I homeschool my 8 children. It's been 17 going on 18 years now. My oldest will be 22 this year. So I started when she was 4 years old.
Wow.
And even the way I got started with homeschooling as my auntie. Her name is, I call her Aunt Mickey. Many people know her as Kathleen Jordan. I had to tag her in there since I gave her a shout out. But she was the first Black person, first any person really, that I had ever seen homeschool. And when I saw her interacting with her kids, and her kids stayed home, she was a home mom, a stay-at-home mom, and she was educating her children. And when I saw that, I said, that's what I want to do. I want to do that for my kids. Then as time grew on, and then I started my own family, I realized why that was so important. And raising Black children, particularly, I mean, there's a lot of reasons. So one was I wanted to really have a vocal, a say on what goes into their little computer chips of their heart and their mind. I wanted to protect that and shape that and ensure what got in there was what I wanted as much as I could. All right. Protective mom. And then the other part was I wanted to make sure my kids received the education that I know that they should have as full as they possibly could. Meaning I was going to make sure my kids were educated, make sure they weren't labeled or anything like that. I had my first one was a girl. She started reading at 4. I mean, just fast. And then my second one was a boy, and he was like a live wire. And I know that if he was in public school, that he would have probably been labeled with some kind of learning difficulty or something like that. He was really slow to read. So if anyone has slow readers, when I say like he was 9 years old, close to 10, till he fully grasped reading, his brain was just always here. So he couldn't even focus. And for a moment, I thought about putting him in school, because then I was pregnant with number 3 and needed a break and that type of thing. And so I went to put him in preschool at 4. He knew all his alphabets, knew his sounds, knew his colors, knew how to write his name, all that kind of stuff. Just didn't have reading down. And the teacher was like, yeah, he can, Jordan can help me with the other kids. And I said, help you what? Help me teach the other kids. And I thought, not for a whole year. So I just sucked it up with my big pregnant belly and said, we're going to school. And so then from there, I just kept learning, kept growing. And 17 years later, my husband and I have graduated 3 children. One went on to start her own violin studio and her own business as a nanny or what have you. My second one, my son, he went into the military. So homeschoolers can get into college and military and be entrepreneurs. It's possible.
That's right.
Our third one, she went off to college, graduated her at 16. She headed off to college, got a scholarship into Jackson, Mississippi, where she's studying violin performance. And now I still have 5 at home. So for those of you, if nothing else, you hear that it is possible to be done. 2, they do have a bright future. That's always the fear I have, Wakesha. I hear from other families, I don't want to mess up my kids' future. I don't want to mess up their education. I don't want to I don't want to cause them to miss anything. And so what I have found that that's not the case. If you stay diligently on that journey, you're going to see the fruit of your labor. And it's going to come. My son, who was not reading until 9, 10 years old, he is an avid reader, loves to read. His punishment has been, if you don't go to sleep,
you can't read.
Yeah, you can't read. Or I would catch him reading in the middle of the night, like, your books are being taken away. You can't get any more books from the library. He loves to read. So for those who are out there, particularly our Black families who are concerned, can I homeschool? How can I homeschool on two, where we need to both be working? And this is where, Wakesha, I want you to speak to that too. How can I do that? How can I ensure that they're going to have that bright future towards college and what have you? So like you said so beautifully and eloquently, Wakesha, there are all these options. Yeah, there are all these options out there for public school, private school, charter, homeschool, and you just got to figure out what works best for you, and go for it. Without the conviction or a concern that you can't do it, Thanks for those thumbs ups and hearts. But there's help, and this is Wakesha Fogle. For all of you who just joined in, Wakesha is in the house.
Yes, I am in the house. Well, in my house and you in your house, but we all connected together. And it's exciting to have this dialogue because I think, I would have been a little apprehensive about having this dialogue 2 years ago. But now that I'm kind of free as a bird and doing what I want to do, I can really have this conversation honestly and say that over the years I've had some reservations. I've had some struggles depending on who my babies would have as teachers, and knowing that, this year is going to be, they're learning something, but they're not learning at the rate that I knew that they could have possibly learned at. And being a person that loves what I do and being able to sow and invest in other teachers and help them increase capacity in what they do, I also come across what I like to say are educators that are professionally misplaced. And I have a heart for them too, that are professionally misplaced. They made a decision. This might have been a second career that wasn't necessarily, and they're struggling through with it. And what happens when you have a situation when your child is in a class with someone that doesn't love what they do? They might not love what they do. There is a very low willingness to do what needs to be done for the students that are in there. They're really in a bad place within themselves. And I empathize with that. I understand. But then we have a whole little, village of babies that need you to be the best because it's the only year they're going to have in that grade. And that's where I've encountered speaking with parents that are saying, I just want to pull them out, but then they don't know what to do. And when you and I had a conversation like 2 conversations ago, and we were talking about how school had become a babysitter, a free babysitter for some families. Like some families saying, I would prefer to go this route, but I can't because I need childcare. Or I can't be at home during the day with my children, so I mean, it's a real conversation, it's not knocking one system or another, but in trying to authentically help families, you have to address what's going on in their homes, so, there are a lot of reasons that they're doing what they're doing. And there are some reasons why parents are apprehensive about taking that step. And I'm meeting more and more parents that do want to educate their own children. They just don't know how to do it.
Well, very good. So this is a good step in what you were saying. Hey, there's help for those who are interested in homeschool. And on the flip side of that coin, Wakesha, all families really should not be in a position to homeschool. I mean, in all honesty, under option 3 law, you have to have a GED or higher that's it, GED or higher to educate your children in the home. But for the most part, with the resources that Wakesha is coming with the resources that I am providing, the homeschool community, there's no reason for failure. I
Right.
mean, honestly, when you're considering homeschool, there's no reason for failure. Oh, I don't know chemistry. Yep, we can find the resources you need for that. Oh, I don't know algebra 1 or 2 or calculus, whatever. We have resources like Wakesha who's saying, hey, I want to step in there and provide that assistance. Oh, my children have special needs, certain learning challenges.
Yes.
There's resources for that. So,
Hmm.
Wakesha, let me see. Any other final thoughts you want to share? Because other than that, I'm going to give the viewers, some direction, let them know what we're going to do, what the ultimate plan is going to be here, and any
Okay.
final thoughts you want to share from your position. And
No,
also
I'm
let us
just
know how. I'm sorry, and then finally, just let us know how they can get in contact with you. Tell us about
Mhm.
your services, your company, and how they can best
Yeah.
contact you.
Yes. Well, the easiest way to reach me would be by going on to my website, which is, and I'll put it in the comments. So I'll go ahead and type that in the comments too, as soon as I finish telling you,
Okay.
which is www.thewakeacademy.com. And so when they go to Wake Academy, there'll be a phone number there. There's where they can get connected with my Facebook page, which is a great avenue for them to get updates on what's going on. And as we're
Okay.
doing great things like this, they can have exposure to it. And in regards to, and call me at any time. I've had parents that were just like, okay, I'm going to hit the button and I'm going to call. And they'll call because I never close unless I'm in a school. If I'm in a
Okay.
school during the day, I might not be available. But times like this, 6:30, 7:30, 8, 9:30 at night, that's when I'm here. You know, it might not look this good, but I'm here, you know, and I'm definitely available to answer any questions that families might have. And I've met so many phenomenal families in that manner with them just hitting that button and messaging me. And then for me to say, you want to chat? I'm available. And we're on the phone and they got tissue and we're both crying and we're talking about our experiences and their needs. And I'm trying to find a way that I can find an answer to their troubles. So
Yeah. Yeah.
just hit the
Beautiful.
button. It's simple. Hit the button. Just hit message me.
Hit the
And
button.
certainly, you know, if I don't get back to you, it's because I'm super busy, but I will get back with you.
Okay.
And so do that and that will be phenomenal. Do that and that would be phenomenal. But yeah, I don't have any other I'm looking forward to hearing from the field and seeing what their needs are of me. And then I can cater, you know, my further dialogue according to what the needs are.
Okay, sounds beautiful. So for all of those who are connected with me through my homeschool association, option 3 at homeschool